What's going on, Washington fans? We are on our final Sunday without football until 2026. Next Sunday at this time, I will be on my way to Northwest Stadium. The Commanders are 1 week away from their season opener, September 4th, Thursday night. I'm going to be doing a watch party for the Eagles and Cowboys. After they just traded Micah Parsons away, it's going to be a fun season. Today, we are going to dive into a little bit of next week's matchup for the Washington Commanders, but not get too much into that because I have my game preview coming out later this week. But make sure you guys hit the like button on this video, hit that subscribe button on the road to 3,000, hit that notification bell as well. So it's been an eventful offseason for the Washington Commanders, coming off playing 3 playoff games last year. We beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs, in the playoff opener. In the divisional round, we beat the Detroit Lions on the road. We went to Philly and we got humbled last year. And we knew that this season was going to be big because we were 1 year into the rebuild last year. This is year 2 of the rebuild. We had to go all in. So we traded for Deebo Samuel. We traded for Laramie Tunsil. We draft Josh Connerly. We draft Trey Amos. We draft Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who out of the blue might be the running back 1 next week. So we open up the season against the Giants. And their starting quarterback is going to be Russell Wilson, if you didn't know that. We are facing Russell Wilson next week. Now, everybody acts like this is going to be such an easy game because Russell Wilson's washed, rinsed. But I always tell them, I was at the Steelers game last year. I was at Northwest Stadium. And I watched Russell Wilson cook our team. Now, granted, that was Benjamin St-Juste. That was Michael Davis. And we have a much better secondary. So, I still think we're going to beat the Giants next week. I'm not going to give my official score. Again, I'll do that later in the week. But this is a big matchup, and these divisional games are always close. They're always close. So you have to keep an eye on the line for this game, the betting line for this game, because it's going to come down. It's going to come down because I think the Giants are going to get the favor later in the week. But I think the Commanders are going to win this game, okay? And we just can't start slow. We haven't seen Terry McLaurin on the field in a long time. We saw him later this week. Or later last week. We saw him on the field for a few practices. Is he ready to go? Is him and Jaden's chemistry good? Jaden Daniels says yes, so I hope that's right. But is Terry McLaurin ready to go? That's one of the headlines that I would watch week 1. Is Terry McLaurin ready to go? Is him and Jaden Daniels, their chemistry, good? Right? Are they ready to go as a group? We're not going to have Sam Cosmi, because obviously the ACL injury, Dan Quinn confirmed that we're not going to have him. It was on the table for a little bit, but we're not going to have him. We just traded away Brian Robinson Jr. So what is this running back room going to look like? They haven't announced the starter yet. I think the starter will probably be C-Rod. And I know you're like, oh, Bill. I think they're going to throw C-Rod out there. They might throw Eckler out there first. To be honest with you. But I think that Bill will get a lot of carries week 1. Obviously, we'll see what he does. Definitely had a great preseason, but we'll see what he does. Then you have week 2, like right after the Giants game, week 1. Whether win, lose, or draw, we have to go Thursday Night Football at Lambeau Field. It's already going to be cold there. And you're on a short week after getting roughed up by the Giants. Whether we win or lose, we're going to get roughed up by the Giants because they're physical, okay? If you don't understand that, you don't know football. And then you got to go to Green Bay, and you got to play the Packers, who just got Micah Parsons. And I'm just glad we're not playing Micah Parsons 2 times a year with the Cowboys, but we still got to play him this year. Still got to play him. So you got to man up and do it. But that's going to be a tough game. I mean, you're looking at a possible 0-2 start. Do I think it's an 0-2 start? No, I don't. Okay, I don't. But I think it's 1-1. And you guys will see this in my record prediction later this week. I think it's 1-1. Because those games are harder than people think. But we are 1 week away from football. Okay? And we always seem to start the season, the past few years, I always go to the week 1 game. It always seems like we start the season good and we play these teams that aren't very good. But this is the Giants, and Yeah, they probably aren't very good, but we'll see what they can do. I mean, they have a good roster on the defensive side of the ball. They signed Javon Holland as a safety. It's not just their D line. Like, they have a good team. So it's going to be an interesting game. But we have an offensive line this year. And, like, I know we're missing Sam Cosmi, but I hope this offensive line can come in, show up, and I hope Josh Conerly, I think Josh Conerly is going to start. I do. But he hasn't earned that yet, I don't believe. Like, not on the depth chart. I hope Josh Conerly just comes in and locks up Abdul Carter. And you see the number 3 overall pick get shut down. Doesn't do anything. Like, I hope that's the case. And I'm going to put trust into Conerly that it is. But he still has to work on his fundamentals. He still has to work on his game a little bit, getting stronger. But I would say that's the biggest worry next week is the Giants' defensive line. I think it's really, really good, as you know. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau. They just added Abdul Carter. Like, there's so many pieces that you have to worry about. There's so many pieces that you have to worry about, and it's gonna be a hard one. All right, that's probably the best defensive line you're gonna face all year, and you open up the season against them. But let's check the line for this game because, this is next week. People forget this game is next week. I mean, it's coming up. So, we are favored by 6.5 points. If I was betting, I would definitely take the Giants because I think this is going to be a 3 to 5 point game. I do. So, I definitely take the Giants on that one. But we are at home. We're coming off a great season. Like, there's a lot of hope coming into this game. So, I do feel pretty good about this one. I do think the Giants are definitely a worse football team. I don't think they're as good as us. Even with that defensive line, like, I think Jaden is so poised and calm. We're in the second year of the Cliff Kingsbury offensive era in Washington, and I just think we're a better football team, more prepared this year. But this opening start to the season, like, it has a good record written all over it for Washington. Like, it has a good record written all over it. You have the Giants week 1 at home. That should be a win. Okay. Commanders, Packers. You can come out of there with a win. Like, I'm not saying you can't. It's just going to be a hard game, but you can come out of Lambeau Field with a win. You could be 2-0. You have the Raiders at home next week. Well, let me check. Yeah, you have the Raiders at home. One of the only 1 o'clock games. I think that's a win. Falcons. We've beaten the Falcons 4 years in a row. Maybe even 5. It's 4 or 5 years. And that's in Atlanta, but you can still win that game. So, you're looking at a 4-0 start. Then you play the Chargers. It's at LA. You could win that game. They're not some powerhouse. You could be 5-0. You could be 6-0. Bears, Commanders, you could beat them. That's going to be a tough one. Commanders, Cowboys. You could be 7-0. And then you play the Chiefs, and I just think at this point in the season, Chiefs are probably going to win this game. But you could start the season 7-0. I mean, you could start the season with a really good record. And so just take advantage of that. Even if it's just like 3-0, 4-0, like, take advantage of that. And one of my expectations for the season is I just want this team to make the playoffs because they have not proven to me in so long that they can win 10-plus games and then make the playoffs the year after and do it again and replicate it the year after. They haven't proved that to me. So I would love this season to be that. And this is the official starting era. But as for the people that are saying Jaden's going to, have a sophomore slump, that's not going to happen. People say the league now has film on Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels now has film on the league. Like, he now has film on the league. And that's one of the facts that people don't want to accept. So, there's no sophomore slump coming. You can wish that away. All right, it's not happening. Those of you saying that. So, this team's going to be really good this year. And year 2 of the rebuild, like, you just got Terry McLaurin back. 3 years, $96 million. We've worked out all the problems. Like, there's no distractions now. We got to go practice this week, and then next Sunday, we're at it. And we're playing the New York Giants. We're playing a division rival. And so, go attack Russell Wilson. One of the things that I want is make the Giants switch their starter through week 1. Like, week 2, I want to see a different starter for the Giants. Whether that's Jackson Dart, whether that's Jameis Winston. I want to see a different starter. Make them switch their starters. That's what I'd love to see. Make them switch their starters. I mean, I'm being dead serious. Go get after Russell Wilson. But we have Von Miller on this team now. Like, off the edge. He still has bend. Jacob Martin looked really good this offseason. He still has bend. Johnny Newton's interior pass rusher. Javon Kinlaw is just a monster. Like, there's just so much to like about this team. There's so much we've done this season. There's so much depth there. And then when you get Sam Cosmi back, like, week 3 or 4, like, it's all in. It's all in. So, that's just going to be a great point of the season. So, I hope we start out 1-0, but we'll see what ends up taking place. So for this upcoming season, you may be asking who is on the final roster, and I assume most of you know, but I'll go over this again. At the quarterback position, you have Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota, and Josh Johnson. So I've said quarterback 3 doesn't really matter. Did I expect Josh Johnson to be on the roster? Probably not, but quarterback doesn't really matter because if you're on your 3rd quarterback, like, your season's over anyway. So we'll see Josh Johnson out there next week. Austin Eckler, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Jeremy McNichols, and then Chris Rodriguez. They're all going to get run next week against the Giants. So excited to see that. Again, I don't know who's starting. I'd assume it would be Austin Eckler. They throw him out there. But he said coming into this, he said he didn't want to be the bell cow. So I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do there. Zach Ertz, John Bates, Ben Sinnott, Colson Yankoff for your tight ends. Excited to watch, Ben Sinnott. Like, if he got a touchdown next week, I'd be very, very happy and pleased. Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Jalen Lane, Noah Brown, Luke McCaffrey. Like, that's your wide receiver room. You're going to get to see Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin next week. Cannot wait for that. I mean, they're going to give defenses a heck of a time. Laramie Tunsil, Brandon Coleman, Tyler Biadasz, Nick Allegretti, Andrew Wiley, Josh Connerly, Chris Paul, George Fant, and Trent Scott are your offensive linemen. So, great depth there. Dietrich Wise Jr., Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, Jacob Martin, Johnny Newton, Dorrance Armstrong, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, and Eddie Goldman are your defensive linemen / edge rushers. And then your linebackers are Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, Jordan McGee, Kay Madrano, Frankie Louvu, Nick Bellore, and Ali Cajo. Nobody expected to see Cajo there, but he is there. We might see him get some run next week, but I think his primary position is just going to be at the special teams, Cornerbacks, Marshall Lattimore, Trey Amos, Mike Samerstow, Jonathan Jones, Noah Igbenogany. Safety, Will Harris, Quan Martin, Percy Butler, Jeremy Reeves, and Tyler Owens. So, and then Matt Gay. One of the things this whole season, like, I cannot have Matt Gay selling this team. Just go out and make all your kicks week 1 and prove that you are reliable. He didn't do that in the preseason. We'll see what he does next week. But this is going to be such an exciting 2025 for the Washington Commanders. There is a statement to be made this season. There is a statement to all the haters. There's a lot of people who don't think we're legit. And we're here to prove them wrong. And next week is the start of that. So if you go out there and kill the Giants, that's a great start. And you kill a division rival who you swept last year, take care of them early, week 1, and that would be a great start of the season. So we are 1 week away until this starts, and we are 1 week away until the Commanders make their quest for a Super Bowl. We haven't had a team like this in so long. Like, we haven't been considered Super Bowl contenders in so long. And here we are in 2025, second year of the rebuild, second year of Adam Peters, second year of Dan Quinn, second year of Jaden Daniels, second year of Cliff Kingsbury, second year of Joe Witt Jr., and we're Super Bowl contenders. So, let's see what this team does this year, Will I be upset if we don't make the Super Bowl? No. Will I be upset if we don't go to the NFC Championship? No. But I told you guys I would love to see one playoff win. Even just making the playoffs. Like, we're on the right foot. And either way, the future is so bright for this team. It's so bright for this team. So no matter what happens this year, whether we don't even make the playoffs. I'm sticking with this team like I always do, and I'm excited for 2025. I think there's a statement to be made. If the statement wasn't already made last year, it's going to be made this year. Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, like all these new additions, and you just build on what you did last year. They are here, and they're going to prove a statement. They're going to make a statement this year. They're going to prove to you why they are contenders. And so it all starts next week. When you love to come out with a killing against the New York Giants. I would. We get to see Bill, 7th round running back. What does he do? What if he comes out and gets a touchdown? Like, there's so many factors to this. There's so many things I'm excited to watch. There's so many players I'm excited to watch. Let's get to it. The wait for football is finally over, and it all starts this Thursday and then Sunday at Northwest Stadium. It kicks off, and I cannot wait for that. But that's going to do it for me. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Hail to the Washington Commanders. As always, 2025 is the year for the Washington Commanders. Record prediction later this week, and then also, record prediction comes out later this week, and you're going to see a lot of stuff, like, just for the upcoming season this week. So keep your eyes peeled for all those videos this week. We're going to have a ton of content out, and any breaking news, I'll be right here to cover it. But that's going to do it for me right now. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Hail to the Washington Commanders. As always, see you in the next one.